Right there on the screen, you're looking at Gaza City as IDF troops mobilize for a massive ground counter-offensive, striking back at the Hamas terrorists. Now, over the weekend, a New York congressman found himself in the heart of the war. Dan Goldman, with his wife and 3 young kids, were in Israel to celebrate a bar mitzvah when rockets flew over their heads Saturday, forcing them into a stairwell inside their hotel. Goldman and his family managed to escape Israel safely, but the horrors have a lasting impact. He joins us now in Washington to recount his experience. Congressman, I'm so glad that you're safe and your family is safe, but we were just talking about your children and having to explain to them what they just experienced.
Yeah, we were woken up at 6:30 in the morning on Saturday by the sirens, which in Israel everyone understands means that rockets are coming. Obviously, we don't grow up with that here in America, so I was aware of what it was. My kids were not, and it took a long time to explain to them at the various different ages, at their various different levels, what was really going on and why it was happening. But there is a lasting impact. Even last night, my wife just told me that my 9-year-old daughter woke up in the middle of the night worried that there was going to be World War III. So it puts really into stark relief how Israeli children grow up, because this is part of their life. It was unexpected, unusual for us, and we're certainly going to deal with it. But you look at the Israeli children who grow up, and that, of course, doesn't even mention or talk about what the horrific terrorist attack in the south happened on Saturday.
Yeah, they run through the drills in Israel because they become accustomed to your kids are Americans. I'm sure this is still shocking them. I want to get your thoughts on this new Gallup poll that shows that Democrats support Palestine over Israel, as NYCD pro-Palestinian protesters blame Israel for the deadly attack. And when you look at the poll, their sympathies, 49%, are for the Palestinian people, but only 38% is for the Israeli people. Do you think there is a lack of understanding of the conflict?
Well, the conflict is a very broad term.
Yeah.
And what I think we need to understand is what happened on Saturday and what is happening right now is very different than what's been going on with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict over the last 2 decades. Saturday was a horrific terrorist attack, as brutal, as depraved, as monstrous as anything that we've ever seen. When you start beheading babies, you are in a different category of human being than I'm familiar with. But that's not the Palestinians. That is Hamas, a terrorist organization. And part of the problem that we have in the Middle East is that Hamas is a terrorist organization and has control over large swaths of the Palestinian territories. And what is very clear right now is that we need to eliminate Hamas, as we did with Al-Qaeda, as we did with ISIS, and that way we can then provide the necessary government services support for the Palestinians.
When you have protests in New York City where they have swastikas, when you have even your colleague, respectfully, Rashida Tlaib, has not been as forceful against what's happening, how do you go back to the Hill and try to get them to rally for the Israeli people?
Look, there are fringe parts of many different parties. There are conservative marches in the South with swastikas all the time. Anti-Semitism is rampant.
100%. So what do you say to your party? What do you say to...
I've had conversations with them, and you know, Representative Ocasio-Cortez has condemned both that rally and the Hamas attacks. And what we're talking about here is terrorism.
Yeah.
And what we are emphasizing, and what President Biden said so forcefully yesterday and so strongly, is that we stand with Israel, our Democratic ally. That is what the Democratic Party stands with. You can point to 1 or 2 different things, and I could point to many things on the right that many of my Republican colleagues say is ridiculous, that no, I don't agree with that. The Democratic Party is in lockstep, shoulder to shoulder with Israel. We support them against terrorism. We support them to defend their own country and to continue to be our strong democratic ally in the Middle East.
Congressman, thank you so much for taking some time with us. We appreciate you being here, and prayers for your family, continued prayers. And I think the whole nation is praying for Israel right now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.